Good morning, all of you. How are you all preparing for tax and for all your other subjects? Keep communicating here and in the group also. Right. Today we are doing a small but very important topic, and that is equalization levy. As I start with this, do you have any doubt in the DTAA? Double taxation. Did you like the level of the problems what we have solved? And for that, have you watched the video that is chapter 6A, ATC to ATU deductions? And today's homework, as I start my class, I will start and finish equalization levy. In another 1 hour, we'll be completing it very fast. It's a simple topic, but not to be left out. 1.5 hours of class and half hour of revision. After the class, this topic is over for final exam with a weightage of 4 marks. 2 marks MCQs or some questions. I'll take the question also which have already been asked in exam. Okay? So equalization levy we are starting, and homework for you all today, right in the beginning I'm saying, is revise income revision video for residential status. Okay, residential status revision video is already there in the app in the revision folder. So watch that video, because the better you understand that, you will follow residentials, I mean say non-resident, very well. How non-residents are going to pay tax in India. It has got 5 marks, 2 questions weightage in your international taxation, and we are starting that from tomorrow. Okay, right. So equalization levy. India is the first one to start with this concept of equalization levy. Especially, initially it started in 2016, and equalization levy is introduced not as a separate act. Like we have Income Tax Act, Companies Act, Goods and Service Tax. These are all separate acts. Like that, equalization levy is started in section 165, 166, 165A, all this in Income Tax Act through Finance Act 2016. It's a separate kind of charging, but there is no separate act. And the concept is very nice. After the COVID, so much of business, services, everything is online. We are also taking class right now online. So in 2020, again, they introduced one more kind of services in the equalization levy. The main purpose of this chapter, which works exactly like your TDS concept, along with equalization levy, remind me if I miss out in the end, I would like to revise 194O. 194 यहाँ नहीं है, TDS में है, but यहाँ पे revise करना चाहिए, because all these concepts are so much interlinked, and the purpose of this concept of equalization levy is anyone coming to India, earning income in India, is definitely paying tax, even if he is non-resident, right or not? Income received in India, deemed to be received, accrued, deemed to, ये तो ठीक है. But a person from his own country is making huge money from India. Business कहाँ हो रहा है? Frankly speaking, हवा में हो रहा है. It's like through internet, right or not? For example, we all are using Zoom for our classes. Zoom, is it from India? No, it is from USA. Is Zoom having so much of customers in India? Yes. Are we making payment to Zoom in USA? Yes. Are they earning through India? Yes. Are they having a P in India? Zoom का कोई office है? कोई city में कहीं पे? No. Are they having any place of business in India? No. Then how the government is going to tap up कि नहीं आप GST registration लो, आप तो बहुत कमा रहे, pay करो tax. So when we make payment, that time only we should deduct and pay the tax to government. Is it clear to all of you? So when businesses are being done online, see we had matlab concerts are there, Arijit ka concert hai ye wo. So whichever city they go, they make money, they need to pay the tax in that state also. That is covered in your GST. But right now, we have so many stand-up comedies and other shows online. You have to buy the ticket, watch it online, and it is over. Your trainings, and teachings and so many things. Trinity Institute of London, it is one of the world renowned institute of music. They are having more than thousands of customers, I mean say their students in India. In Hyderabad only, my music sir is enrolling more than 100 students in Trinity. They are taking all the exams online. They are giving all the coaching online. So from 100 students, they are earning the fees from India. And how much tax they are paying in India? Zero. So to tap up this, they started with the concept of equalization levy in 2016. But when it started, it was mainly only for the advertisement tapping. Matlab, if we are giving advertisement in the foreign country resources and all. Okay. Later on in 2020, they said, no, not only advertisement, Amazon. Can I order some product directly from Amazon, which is being sold to me from a foreign country? Yeah, I'm making payment to Amazon. Now, online purchases, sales, services, this is all so common. So, on everything, you have to pay tax in India because the ultimate concept is you have earned income in India. Ma'am, for income earned in India, we have residential status. But residential status के लिए physical stay 182 days in India. यहाँ तो कोई physical presence ही नहीं है. That company is earning Zoom crores of rupees from India. But where is the physical presence? Nothing. Where is the P? Nowhere. No office is there in India. So how we are going to collect the tax? Like this. Okay. So then this topic is introduced for all of you, and name of this topic is equalization levy. Okay? Some terms are there in equalization levy, and better I'll give you one diagram also so that you all understand this very well. And simple procedural part is also there. It's on page number 248 in our material. Equalization levy. Then we'll do non-resident, then we will do transfer pricing. So this is going to be the sequence. ICDS दिख रहा है. Have you all finished with the ICDS? Sure, one MCQ and one question of distinguish between the Indian ICDS and abroad. That's what is asked. Yes. Here it is. Equalization levy. Okay, right. Let us directly start with the terms used. Are you able to get it? Page number. Check karo. Might be one page here and there because I converted word into and say then saved. Equalization levy means the tax. Which tax? Income tax only. Yeah. On the consideration received or receivable on specified service or e-commerce supply or service. Okay. So that's what is equalization levy. Now, why it started? This base level questions are also asked in exam. Okay. Growth of e-commerce and concerns emerging. थोड़ा theory पढ़ेंगे, थोड़ा flowchart बनाएंगे. Like this, we will go on. Rapid growth of information. You know, the world has become small. Sitting in Hyderabad, I can do with a person in Spain, Russia right now, right? So the rapid growth of information and technology has resulted in expansion and procurement of goods and services globally. The digital economy is growing. At present, digital domain may be conducted with regard to national boundaries and massive dissolving the link. Okay. Hence, business in digital domain does not actually occur in the physical location, but it is in the cyberspace. हवा में काम हो रहा है, correct है नहीं? Person carrying business in digital domain could be located anywhere in the world, and entrepreneurs across the world have been quick to evolve their business by taking advantage of all this. Now, this is already asked in exam as theory question, commenting question. But this new model, which is the cyber business, have created new tax challenges. What are the taxation issues related to e-business? First one is difficulty in characterizing the nature of the payment. Yeah, and establishing a nexus or link between the taxable transaction and the taxing jurisdiction. I'm paying to Zoom by my online card and payment is received in USA bank somewhere, finished. So where is that payment linked with India? And in what is the taxing jurisdiction? Yeah. Difficulty of locating the transaction activity and identifying the taxpayer for income tax purpose. Because the business is done online, how do we identify how much transaction or sale is done? Because I've sold the goods online, I have received the payment online, and nothing is there, no physical stock, nothing. So these are the challenges faced. Kya challenges hai sabse zyada? How do we decide the taxing jurisdiction of the taxpayer? The digital business challenges physical presence, and if PE principles are effective, then fundamental PE components are there. PE है तब तो कोई problem ही नहीं है. You remember? PE is foreign companies having a place of business in India, and through PE they will pay the tax in India, whatever they earn, right? Then to there is no problem. Now, OECD recommended under the action plan 1 of BEPS. Now, what is this? OECD is Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. This is like, group of developed and developing countries coming together to solve this problem globally. That, okay, people from India are going abroad and doing business and earning. So how do you pay the tax? And BEPS, that is base erosion and profit shifting. I am doing transaction with USA and both the countries are having good tax rate. So we do the transaction through third country, which is a tax 7 country where tax is 0 or limited. So these kind of things are going on. So for tackling them, what they have recommended, modifying the existing definition of PE to provide for whether an enterprise engaged in fully dematerialized or the digital activity would constitute a PE if it maintained a significant digital presence in another country. Even if PE is not there, they might have to pay tax in India. Okay? PE कैसे फॉर्म में है? डीमैट. आपको पता है ना आपके शेयर्स डीमैट फॉर्म में कैसे होते हैं? इट्स लाइक अ बैंक अकाउंट एंड यू हैव shares in that, not physically but digitally. Introducing the concept of virtual fixed place of business. Virtual fixed place of business is done through locating the IPA, Internet Protocol Address. If अगर उसका IPA इंडिया में है, so that person is doing business through India. So can we introduce the concept of virtual fixed place? Third, this is the third point, imposition of final withholding tax on the gross basis in case of certain payment for digital through e-commerce operator by way of that. This is the way. इंडिया से पेमेंट जब हम जूम को दे रहे हैं, हम काट के गवर्नमेंट को दे दें. आर यू गेटिंग? आई एम पेइंग yearly membership 18,000 to Zoom. In that, say 18,000 ka 6% I'll give to the government as tax and I will deduct and pay to Zoom. Simple TDS concept. You all know or not what is TDS concept? Tax deducted at source. I am generating 10 rupee income for you, yellow. Listen, 1 rupee you pay me back out of your 10. I will pay to government and I'll give you a check of 9. Now, question I am asking to all of you is, when I am giving you the payment 10, 1 rupee I am taking back and paying to government on your behalf as TDS and giving you certificate for that. 9 rupees I am paying you. Now, this is a basic base level question, and if it is very easy, everyone should answer. Your income received in hand is 9 rupees, but your taxable income is 9 rupees or 10 rupees. Answer my question. समझ में आया हमने क्या पूछा आपसे? योर टैक्सेबल इनकम इज 9 रुपी और 10 रुपी. क्या है आपका इनकम? यस. I've deducted TDS and paid you. TDS is like 2 into 4. 8 marks they are going to ask. And preferably whatever I teach right from inter to final, all detailed lectures I'll ask you to watch. TDS to dekhna hai. I feel TDS is as good as a chapter only, like 5 heads of income. Did you all understand my question? I'm asking a very simple GK level question कि हमने आपको कितना दे दिया? 10 rupees दे दिया हमने आपको. फिर 1 rupee वापस लेके गवर्नमेंट को दे दिया on your behalf, and I gave you a check of 9. So my question to you all is, your income is 10 rupee or 9 rupee? 10 rupee, correct. Your income is 10 rupee. And what is my expense? 10 rupee or 9 rupee? 10 rupee gross. You remember grossing up of income? Even if you receive 9 rupee, 1 rupee is your income received in your hand, and again I'm taking it and back and paying to government. So 10 rupees is your income. That's why we do grossing up while taxing the income. In DTA, NR, सब जगह करेंगे. And my expense is 10 rupee. Though 9 rupees I'm paying to you, 1 rupee on your behalf I'm paying to government. Is this clear? Right? So this is base level problem. Then we introduce the concept of equalization levy. Open your notebooks. I'm giving you a flow chart. It will take another 10 minutes to write, but that will clarify everything about equalization levy. Two sections are there which are very important here. So the first one I'm writing is section 165. 165 and 165A. Okay, right. Write down. Equalization levy. Equalization levy. Yes. It is applicable to whole of India except Jammu and Kashmir. लिखा फर्स्ट पॉइंट, साथ साथ में लिखना है. इट्स वेरी सिंपल, but writing is necessary to understand the concept, and then when you solve the problems, that language will come. It is introduced in Finance Act 2016. Please here on top mein likho, first I am doing section 165. It's not applicable to Jammu and Kashmir because that time lot of disturbance was there, and it is applicable whole of India. And it is introduced in 2016. Now look at the example. ठीक है, एग्जाम्पल करते हैं साथ में. जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल, we are giving a Google advertisement. I gave a Google ad. Okay. Who is Google? Google is a non-resident. Correct or not? Facebook, Insta, Google ये सब इंडिया के बाहर से हैं, और इनका नो पीई इन इंडिया. इंडिया में कोई पी नहीं है गूगल का. नाउ गूगल इज रेंडरिंग सर्विस. Google is rendering service to whom? Either to resident SSE, who is very well resident and taxable. Let us take our example as concept classes. Okay. Or Google is giving service to non-resident. Google himself is a non-resident and he is giving service to non-resident having PE in India. PE in India is as good as resident on behalf of non-resident. And please write down service. This is basically for advertisement. Okay. Now, shall I pay advertisement fees? Arrow mark ध्यान से करो. Advertisement fee or advertisement amount paid to Google. हमने कोई ad दी है और वो ad Google में we have paid. How much? Say rupees 5 lakh. Then we will deduct equalization levy. How much it is? 6%. 6% is the rate of equalization levy. 30,000 and 4,60,000 paid to Google. Exempt for Google under section 105050. You just go on writing the concept. When this is all filled up, it will be very clear and I will shortly explain it again. We are giving ad. Yes, we are giving ad in Google. So is Google generating income from India? Advertisement are they getting? Yes. Who is giving ad in Google? Either resident or non-resident having P in India. So we are giving ad in Google. Google is generating 5 lakh income to India through their country, sitting in their office in USA. So we will only deduct 6% equalization levy, pay them 4,70,000. Now this is exempt for Google. ये बिल्कुल Google के लिए exempt है. And for us, 5 lakh allowed as advertisement expense if equalization levy deducted and paid. Are you all with me? आप सबको याद है TDS में it is written that if I pay someone and with I miss deducting TDS, that is not allowed as my business expense in India. 30% is disallowed. Outside India, if I pay someone and I miss deducting TDS, 100% is disallowed. So this is allowed as advertisement expense if equalization levy deducted and paid by 7th of next month. मैम ये तो बिल्कुल TDS की तरह है. हाँ, हो गया equalization levy. Section 165. By 7th of next month, I have to deduct and pay to government. If not, 8 से interest शुरू हो जाएगा 1% per month. If not, interest 1% per month will start from 8th. Will start from 8th. I am explaining you ekdam to the point gist, which is important for you to remember the points. You need not draw the flowchart in exam, but flowchart will make it very clear ki who is the receiver, who is the giver, who will deduct the TDS, what are the consequences. Okay? Any doubt until now? Yes. So now see the logic. In case if equalization levy concept is not there, dear students, what will happen is Google is getting income from India. It is paying zero tax. Secondly, I am claiming 5 lakh rupees as my advertisement expense. But what is the income government is receiving? If I show as expense, you should show as income. No, simple funda. आई एम सेइंग अलाउ मी एडवर्टाइजमेंट बिकॉज ये तो मेरे बिजनेस का खर्चा है बट इनकम तो गवर्नमेंट को हो नहीं रही है तो इट वाज अ लॉस ऑफ गवर्नमेंट दैट्स व्हाई दे सेड these kind of services rendered for advertisement and all if foreign non-residents are earning through India through advertisement deduct 6% equalization levy and pay. Now 470 is Google liable to pay tax in India? No. Clear to all of you? Right. Now here they can ask you some more options. So let us write case 2. Case 2 or option 2. If rupees 30,000 not deducted and full rupees 5 lakh paid. 30,000 is not deducted and by mistake पूरा 5 लाख हमने पे कर दिया. Then what is the answer? Rupees 5 lakh is not allowed as business expense. Correct है या नहीं? I am giving you salary and I should deduct TDS and pay to government. I did deduct the TDS. मैंने काटना भूल गई. So that salary expense is not allowed. Okay. Now here some emotion is there. If rupees 30,000 called back and paid in next year, previous year 23-24, I said, listen, Google, by mistake, I gave you full 5 lakh. I should have deducted. Can you send back? I'll deduct and give you certificate, blah, blah, blah. In next year. Then next year, will this expenditure be allowed? Yes. Answer. Then rupees 5 lakh is allowed as advertisement expense in the previous year 23-24. Is it super easy or not? Section 165. Now one important question, the reason I'm making you write, if they ask, you should be able to write as it is. Cases where section 165 is not applicable. अभी I taught you 165 कि आप TDS काटोगे, कितना परसेंट काटोगे आप 165 में, 6% and all. And now I'm saying cases where 165 is not applicable. Number 1. When non-resident service provider is having PE in India. You know, this concept can be taught in only 45 minutes also. But reason of repetition is to help you sink in mind, learn it for your final exam. So when you will not apply this section, when you are a non-resident, you are providing service, but you are having a PE in India. So फिर PE okay, तो you will anyhow pay the tax in routine. Second one, very important. When aggregate receipt from resident or non-resident having P. These are called as service recipient. when aggregate received from resident or non-resident having P, मतलब जो service recipient है does not exceed rupees 1 lakh from all customers. Customer wise नहीं है, seller wise है. Seller getting advertisement business from India up to 1 lakh, no equalization levy. Above 1 lakh, बिल्कुल equalization levy लगेगा. ठीक है. Last one. When services provided are personal, not related to business or profession. Example, plastic awareness campaign, social projects, etc. What are the cases when this equalization levy is not applicable? Shall I wait or you all finished writing? Huh? When non-resident service provider is having P in India. So through P they are paying the tax. Then equalization levy is applicable to that non-resident who is giving advertisement service in India and he is not having P. When aggregate receipt from India does not exceed 1 lakh rupees. When service provided are personal. See, services which are taxable is when I am giving advertisement, say for my business or profession. Okay, then it is taxable. But suppose this advertisement is given for environment protection, it is a paid ad only. मैंने ही गूगल पे ऐड की हूँ, बट प्लास्टिक अवेयरनेस है या एनवायरमेंट डे है, अभी 21 जून वर्ल्ड योगा डे है, तो वी हैव गिवन सम एडवर्टाइजमेंट लाइक दैट, then is it going to be taxable? No, because this equalization levy is to be deducted and paid only when these transactions are related to your business. Chal. Ask me some doubts if you have, or it is all clear. Is it very easy also and all clear also? Who is giving service to whom? Who will deduct the TDS? Resident or non-resident having P. Chalo, let us read these terms and make it very clear. I did read the first page because this second para can be asked in exam. What are the challenges faced? Then how do we tax them? What is going to be their taxing jurisdiction? Because ये सब तो online हो रहा है ना? Right. ये पढ़ेंगे. Equalization levy, chapter 7. In order to address these challenges, Chapter 7 Finance Act titled Equalization Levy provides equalization levy of 6% of the amount of consideration for specified service by a non-resident not having PE in India from a resident in India or from a non-resident having PE in India. आप किसको सर्विस दे रहे हैं? One non-resident is giving service to resident, or non-resident is giving service to another non-resident who is having P in India. Non-resident who is having P in India is as good as resident only. So this started with Finance Act 2016 and applicable from 1st June. It extends to whole of India. It's not written, but not applicable to Jammu and Kashmir. Right. It applies in respect of consideration received or receivable for specified services provided on or after 1st June 2016. Now, it is leviable on amount of consideration for specified service or receivable by a person being non-resident from person resident in India and carrying on business, not personal. Add the tagline. मिल रहा है आप सबको? मैं कहाँ पढ़ रही हूँ? Non-resident is giving service to resident in India for his business purpose, not those matrimonial ads and other personal level ads. Or he is giving service to non-resident having P in India. What kind of service non-resident is giving? Specified service. Specified service is online advertisement or provision for digital advertising space or facility for the purpose of online advertisement. You know, we get fixed slots ki, okay, this time you can advertise your product every day or any other service. So basically this is for advertisement service provided by the non-resident to a resident. In short, they are earning a lot through India, but they are not paying any tax in India. So we are charging equalization levy 6%. It will not be chargeable where consideration received or receivable for specified services shall not include consideration which are taxable as royalty or fee for technical service in India, read with agreement notified. So this advertisement does not include royalty and other fee for technical services and all, you know, if they are giving that, because that's already covered in the DTAA, a separate agreement. Or non-resident having providing service has a P in India and services connected with the P. So no problem. Aggregate amount of consideration for specified service in previous year by non-resident from a person resident carrying on business or profession does not exceed 1 lakh. Mark it important for MCQs. MCQ के लिए important. So if you are giving the amount of consideration for services in a previous year by non-resident for business and the amount does not exceed 1 lakh, or where the payment for specified service by resident or P in India is not for the purpose of business. I said no. For some personal reason or for social work, you are giving the ad. Okay. So the key aspects related to equalization levy are discussed below that we are seeing. Is this clear to all of you? Take a pause and tell me, you want to read it on your own once or clear? What are the 4 cases when equalization levy is not applicable? Consideration should not include the fee which is payable as royalty and all. Non-resident providing specified service has a P in India. और 1 lakh से exceed नहीं हो रहा है अगर तो, or where the payment of specified service or the P is not for the purpose of business, तो फिर 6% नहीं लगेगा, otherwise लगेगा. That's all for section 165. Did I make you write that you have to pay by 7th of the next month? Now we will do 165A. But before I go to 165A, some terms should be clear. ये देखो, यहाँ से read करो एक बार. Who is e-commerce operator? Just the second part. Yeah. One more term they introduced, and for that, let us check the term. Equalization levy means tax payable on consideration received or receivable for any specified service or e-commerce supply. स्पेसिफाइड सर्विस. अब 165A के लिए ऑनलाइन एडवर्टाइजमेंट, any provision of digital advertising space, any other service. Now, who is a e-commerce operator? E-commerce operator is like Amazon, Flipkart. समझ में आ रहा है? Actually, we are buying the product through Amazon, but you all know that in Amazon, e-commerce suppliers are there. Huh? Like, for example, I am supplying books to Amazon. Who am I? Huh? Concept Classes is selling its books through Amazon. Who am I? E-commerce supplier of goods or services. I am selling it to you, students, through whom? E-commerce operator. So can I say e-commerce operators are the channels through which the suppliers sell the products to the customer? eBay, Flipkart, Amazon, ये सब online portals हैं जहां products are listed by the seller and buyer will buy the products. Supplier will sell directly product to buyer. Buyer will make payment to Amazon. Amazon will deduct its commission and hand over the remaining amount to the supplier. Okay, right? So in this case, suppose the e-commerce operator is a resident, तब तो कोई problem नहीं है. Like in India, we have Urban Clap. Urban Clap, is it an e-commerce operator? Yes, but वो तो Indian है, तो उनका तो ऑफिस भी है इंडिया में, and whatever they are earning, Urban Clap or whatever, are they paying tax in India? Yes. But if a non-resident who operates or manages electronic facility or platform for online sale of goods or services or both, he's called as what? E-commerce operator. E-commerce supply or service, online sale of the goods, online provision of service, or sale of goods or service, both. I'm giving my coaching also online and I'm selling my books also online, or any combination of all this. Okay? Online sale of goods and provision shall include acceptance of offer, placing of order, acceptance of order, payment, and so on. Specified circumstances. Sale of advertisement which targets a customer who is ये specified circumstances में if they are selling, this definition is very important. Sale of advertisement which targets a customer who is resident in India or customer accesses advertisement through the IPA located in India. इंडिया के इंटरनेट के एड्रेस के थ्रू शॉपिंग हो रही है goods or services की. Okay? And sale of data collected from a person who is resident in India. Okay? So data is being sold from India and it can be sold to anyone across the world, but they have owned through India, no? They have to pay equalization levy under section 165A. These definitions are 165A. So 165 तो clear है 6%. Now let us see what is 165A. कितना लग रहा है आपको? 2%. Clear? Right. For this also, let us draw a simple diagram very quickly and then it will be clear. You can ask me if you have any doubt. समझ में आ रहा है? अब next लिखो. Section 165A. Applicable from 1st April 2020. 1st April 2020. Now see, I'm writing here. E-commerce supplier for goods or services. E-commerce supplier. पहले ऑपरेटर लिखते हैं, सप्लायर बीच में लिखेंगे. Oh, sorry, I'm changing again because both the ways are okay. Supplier ही लिखो चलो. E-commerce suppliers through e-commerce operator are giving services portal के through to number 1 resident, number 2 to a person purchasing from IPA. What is IPA? Internet Protocol Address in India. Or e-commerce supplier of goods and service through the e-commerce operator is giving service to either resident or to a person purchasing from कोई भी person. It could be non-resident also, but इस बार वो इंडिया से purchase कर रहा है. Or to a non-resident in special circumstances. ई-कॉमर्स ऑपरेटर खुद कौन है? ई-कॉमर्स ऑपरेटर खुद कौन है? इज अ नॉन रेसिडेंट. उसका कोई पी इंडिया में नहीं है. ओके, एग्जाम्पल वी कैन राइट लाइक Amazon and Flipkart. Suppose their turnover is rupees 300 lakhs from India. किसका? ई-कॉमर्स ऑपरेटर जो है वो कौन है? नॉन रेसिडेंट है, लाइक Amazon, Flipkart. They have done a turnover of 300 lakhs in India. Then equalization levy. 300 lakhs ka 6%. 1 second, switch on the laptop. Yes. Is my writing clear to all of you? Just 2 minutes and it will be very clear. So e-commerce operator is giving service to customers. Who are the customers? Resident, or maybe resident or non-resident, but this time their IP address is India. Or to a non-resident in specific circumstances when they are giving advertisement or collection of data and all. Okay? To a non-resident in special circumstances. Special circumstances आपको वहां definition में बताया, लिखना है तो लिख लो वापस से. Sale of advertisement, sale of advertisement or sale through advertisement to customer in India. Or you are selling the data outside. Sale of data collected from resident person IPA in India. Okay, 165 है तो और easy है. E-commerce operator. Are you doing business? Sorry, I wrote here 6%. 165, the rate is 2%. And this time we will not deduct and pay and all. We will collect extra. 300 lakhs का 2% कितना आएगा? 6 lakhs. So 6 lakhs is paid by e-commerce operator. This time it's not minus karke and all. If I have done turnover above a limit, I have to deduct and pay. 6 lakhs paid by e-commerce operator. This time it is quarterly payment by 7th of month next to quarter. क्वार्टर खत्म अप्रैल में जून खत्म हुआ तो 7 जुलाई जुलाई अगस्त सितंबर खत्म हुआ तो 7th अक्टूबर एंड सो ऑन ओनली फॉर मार्च देयर इज नो एक्स्ट्रा टाइम 31st of March तक पे करना पड़ेगा. टीडीएस भी लगता है 194O में, वो रेसिडेंट को लगेगा. TDS is there 194O, that will be resident, but this is basically e-commerce operator. TDS मुझे इसमें merge नहीं करना है, इसको इनफैक्ट निकाल ही दो. Really sorry if you have drawn also, इसको छोड़ दो. इसको TDS का I thought I'll connect 194O here, but आप और confused हो जाओगे. अलग से I'll tell you. There is e-commerce operator. He himself is a non-resident. He is not having any P in India, say Amazon, Flipkart. And if they have done a business by selling goods or services or both, 300 lakhs from India. Yeah. Then equalization levy 6 lakhs. Who will pay? E-commerce operator. वो तो खुद नॉन रेसिडेंट है बट उसने इंडिया से इतना कमाया ना, he should pay and then that income is exempt for him. But what kind of services he'll give and to whom? He can give services. Acha, both, giving services, goods and services to resident or to a person purchasing from IPA address in India. You know now how? Suppose this is a non-resident. Another non-resident comes to say Hyderabad, okay, and in Hyderabad hotel he books Charminar's replica gift. वो छोटे छोटे Charminar के gift आते हैं ना, तो one non-resident is e-commerce operator. So non-resident क्या करता है? इंडिया में आ रहा है and online he is booking in India through India's IPA address goods. Okay, Hyderabad का replica जो है चारमीनार का. So now in this case, okay, the business is between two non-residents, but that non-resident who, that e-commerce operator जहां पे ये book किया है, Is he rendering the services through IPA address in India? Yes. ये पैसे आपने इंडिया से कमाए, ये टर्नओवर इंडिया का है, you have to pay 2% tax. Or non-resident is levying a services to another non-resident by sale of advertisement to a customer in India, or sale of data which is collected from resident person where IPA India ka hai, so they have to pay the tax. Please remember 165 में it is like 100 minus 6. यहाँ पे क्या है, 100 rupees अगर है 6 रुपए, और 94 आप घर लेके जाओगे. Foreigner will take 94 home. Here, if you are giving the service of 100, on that 2 rupees you have to pay out of your pocket. Not out of that. 100 plus 2, 103. That's the concept. When I read with example, it will be very clear. Now, this cases where this is not applicable. Yes, I'll read everything. Cases where section 165A is not applicable. Simple. What are the cases where 165A is not applicable? Number 1. When e-commerce operator has a PE in India. इंडिया में ई कॉमर्स ऑपरेटर जो है अमेजोन, और उनका कोई पी है इंडिया में, तब तो कोई प्रॉब्लम ही नहीं है. When transaction is already covered under section 165. 165 is only for rendering advertisement. 165 is advertisement, other services, selling of goods, everything. So if you are covered under 165, not be covered under 165. And third is e-commerce operators turnover does not exceed rupees 2 crore from India. इंडिया से आप नॉन रेसिडेंट ई कॉमर्स ऑपरेटर हो, बट आपका बिजनेस अगर 2 करोड़ से कम है, तो आपको 165A इज नॉट एप्लीकेबल. और 165 कब नॉट एप्लीकेबल है? 1 लाख. When you make the payment and it does not crosses 1 lakh. Is this clear to all of you? 165A. And when services is in the form of royalty or fee for technical services covered under section 90A. And payment मैंने already लिखा 7th of next month after the quarter. Take your time and tell me, are the exceptions clear to all of you? Yes. Let us check now. Material and everything will be clear. Where you want me to read? Chat. I am seeing that also. I will explain. Yeah. See. E-commerce operator. This is started from 2021. Equalization would be chargeable on the amount of consideration received by e-commerce operator from e-commerce supply or facilitated by to a person resident in India or to a non-resident in the specified circumstances as provided, like sale of advertisement which target customer or is resident in India or customer who assesses advertisement through IP in India, or sale of the data collected from India, or to a person who buys such goods or services using IPA. मैंने आपको ये फर्स्ट पॉइंट लिखाया, ये सेकेंड और फिर ये थर्ड लिखाया. क्लियर है या नहीं? हाँ. Who are you? E-commerce operator. Who are you? Non-resident. Oh, you are earning through resident in India. जो भी कमा रहे हो ना 2% और दे के जाना, आप ही दे दो अपने पॉकेट से, हम काट के पे नहीं करेंगे आप. बिकॉज वी आर तो लाइक व्हाट डू यू से, हम नहीं काटेंगे. इट इज नॉट 165. सो if you are selling goods or services to us and we need to make you payment, then in that case आप ही extra pay करो अपने pocket से. If your turnover exceeds 2 crore aggregate in a financial year, or you are rendering you yourself, आप कौन है? E-commerce operator. आप कौन है? Non-resident. You are rendering services to another non-resident for sale of advertisement which targets a customer who is resident in India through advertisement IPA in India, or sale of data collected from a person who is resident in India or from a person whose internet IPA address is in India. So India say e-commerce operator is giving advertisement or sale of data, but collect कहाँ से किया है? Resident से. कौन से IP address से? India से. Or he e-commerce operator is giving service to any person who buys goods or services using IP address. So the buyer may be non-resident. मैं खुद कौन हूँ? Non-resident. I'm giving services to another non-resident, but that non-resident is in Hyderabad and he has placed order through Hyderabad. Okay, still that will be covered as sale in India, or equalization levy 2% pay करना पड़ेगा. What are the 4 cases when it is not applicable? First one is same. Consideration received or receivable shall not include the consideration which are taxable as royalty and all. Where e-commerce operator has a P in India, तो कोई problem ही नहीं है. When it is already covered under 165, and where turnover or gross receipts, as the case may be, of e-commerce operator made or provided is less than 2 crore, तो फिर applicable नहीं है. 165 limit is 1 lakh, here it is 2 crore. ठीक है? Yeah, check the point you are saying. Have I covered that? Definitions are clear. क्या क्या सेल कर रहे हैं? E-commerce operator can sell goods or services or both, और advertisement भी आ गया है. तो 165 is only for advertisement. 165 में तो सब cover up हो गया. Consequences, these two can be asked in objectives, true and false and MCQs. Mark it, very important. Any consideration paid to payable to NRI for which equalization levy is deductible, and if such levy has not been deducted, I had to pay the advertisement to Google and I missed deducting the TDS. Okay, such levy has not been deducted under section 165. Or levy deducted but we have not paid to government, हमने अपने पॉकेट में रख लिया. तो 5 लाख पे 30,000 रुपीस काटना था, हमने काट तो लिया. 470 we have paid you and 30,000 we didn't deposit. Whole 5 lakh advertisement expense will not be allowed in the current year. एडवर्टीजमेंट का एक्सपेंस करंट ईयर में अलाउड ही नहीं होगा. If equalization levy is deducted subsequently, later I said कि I will deduct and pay, मैं काटना भूल गई, आपसे वापस लिया और फिर मैंने पे किया. Will it be allowed in that year? Answer is yes. Okay. Next is section 1050. Any income arising from services provided on or after date on which provisions are applicable and chargeable to equalization levy. So when already 2%, 6% levy we are paying, then whatever amount is going outside India, है ना, आउट ऑफ 5 लाख 30,000 वी आर डिडक्टिंग. 470 जो इंडिया के बाहर जा रहा है वो तो पूरा एग्जेम्प्ट है. यहाँ लिखो, एग्जाम्पल लिखो. 5 लाख एडवर्टीजमेंट. मैम लिखा ना, फिर से लिखें. हाँ, 6% पेड. काट के पे भी कर दिया आपने. 470 टैक्स फ्री इनकम. You can take it outside India. There is no tax on that. Okay. Now some theory part is there, but I hope it is clear. अभी तक जो पढ़ाया, how they will submit the statement and all. Before we go on to the theory and the question answers also, of course. Theory बाद में करेंगे, थोड़ा सा question answer करेंगे. उसके पहले ना एक comparative लिखना है. Dear students, एक बार लिख लो. This is just for your understanding. 165 versus 165A. 165 का रेट कितना है आपका? 6%. यहाँ पे कितना है? 2%. यहाँ पे लिमिट कितनी है? ₹1 लाख. 1 लाख से एक्सीड हो रहा है तो ही 6% डिडक्ट होके पे होगा. यहाँ पे टर्नओवर का लिमिट है 2 करोड़. आप इंडिया में आए, 1.5 करोड़ कमा के चले गए, नो प्रॉब्लम. 2 करोड़ एक्सीड हो रहा है तो ये फिर आपको you have to pay the 2%. Followed? And this is like 100 minus 6. 94 is going out of India. Here it is 102. 102. I'll not take 2 from customer, but I will only pay out of my pocket. Here it is payment monthly. Quarterly. 7th of next month after quarter. और मार्च का पेमेंट कब करना है? 7th अप्रैल तक का टाइम नहीं है. March payment is to be done by 31st March only. See, why I'm giving you notes like this? They can ask you, no, simple question, this versus that. ये सिर्फ एडवर्टाइजमेंट सर्विस के लिए. ये सेल ऑफ गुड्स, सेल ऑफ सर्विसेज, of course sub services. Both the cases they are non-resident. Supplier is non-resident. रिविजन हो रहे हैं अच्छे से. 165 में सप्लायर कौन है? नॉन रेसिडेंट. 165 में भी कौन है? ई कॉमर्स ऑपरेटर, नॉन रेसिडेंट. उसका इंडिया में कोई पी नहीं है. रिसिपिएंट किसको सर्विस दे रहे हैं? हम किसको सर्विस दे रहे हैं? रेसिडेंट को. और नॉन रेसिडेंट हैविंग पी इन इंडिया, जिसका इंडिया में पी है, उसको आप सर्विस दे रहे हो तो फिर आप 6% काटोगे. यहाँ पे किसको आप सर्विस दे रहे हो? टू रेसिडेंट और 2% using IPA from India. It could be resident or non-resident, but उसका IPA कहाँ का है? इंडिया का है. Last. We are giving service to non-resident. Sale of advertisement, sale of data. दोनों के केस में IPA एड्रेस इन इंडिया. हो गया. कौन किसको दे रहा है, क्या रेट से दे रहा है, when you have to make the payment, you can add on some more point if you wish to. Chalo, now we'll see how 4 marks questions are asked, and they are very important. 10-15 minutes and the topic will be over. Equalization levy. Revise it at home, and surely 5 marks is the weightage. The language is also very simple. And then I'll just read out the procedural part of it. Clear? सीधा क्वेश्चन पे आ जाओ. थोड़ा ये सब प्रोसीजरल पार्ट, ये डिस्टिंग्विश बिटवीन छोड़ दो. Yeah, read this. So we have done 2 types of equalization levy which are applicable to non-resident. One is 6% if they get any advertisement business from India, and for any other sale of the goods and services, if it exceeds 2 crore, they have to pay 2% extra out of their pocket only. This time we will not deduct, and that is 165A. Okay. See, this started, 165A started in 2020, because we all know that post COVID, so much of business is being done online, and they are never going to come in India. They are not having any P in India. They don't have any business connection. मतलब physically they are not having any offices. कुछ नहीं है, कोई agent नहीं है, कुछ नहीं है. See, when we are paying to Zoom, we are just paying through our card directly. So like this, if they have business exceeding limit, they have to pay the tax in India. Okay. चलो फिर से देखते हैं इसको. Let us see what is the answer for this. Did you all get problem number 1? I want full participation from you all. You all check and answer. This company is a non-resident entity based in Spain. They operate electronic facility through which it effects online sale of goods. Okay. Sale of goods means indicator 165A. है ना? Because 165 किसके लिए है? सिर्फ advertisement के लिए. Following are its receipts. Receipt from sale of goods to a person resident in India. Okay. Receipt from sale of goods to a person not resident in India but resident in other parts of America. ठीक है. Out of the said sum, 60 lakhs relates to receipts from a person using IPA address in India. One non-resident has sold the goods to another non-resident, but through IPA address of India. India से इसकी booking हुई है. 60 lakhs. So 145 lakhs I have sold to a resident, and 60 lakhs. मिला के कितना हुआ? 295. Is it exceeding 2 crore? Yes. Should I pay 2% tax in India as equalization levy? 165 में covered है. Discuss equalization levy and its implication if this company has no PE in India. Then of course they have to pay tax. And if they have the PE in India, then 165A is not applicable. Okay. Would your answer change if I'm calling it as third bit? इसको third bit कर दो. Would your answer change if the receipts above from India is 45 lakhs from the IPA? तो 145 ये और 45 ये, यस आंसर चेंज हो जाएगा. फ्रॉम इंडिया इफ यू आर नॉट अर्निंग द रिसीट्स ऑफ मोर देन 2 crores फिर 2% टीडी इक्वलाइजेशन लेवी की जरूरत नहीं है. आर यू गेटिंग? सी, this is new for you. In routine we don't come across equalization levy, but this is a blessing for you in exam. Something is struggling in exam कि इसका आंसर क्या होगा, add क्या, less क्या, ये क्या, वो क्या, and something is very easy like this. Enjoy writing answers in notebook. Don't write one word answer in textbook please. नहीं करना है हमको. हम इसको नोटबुक में अच्छे से सॉल्व करेंगे. तो आप लोग भी मेरे साथ करोगे. Let us do it properly in the notebook. Problem number 1. Who is the mirror ko? They are non-resident. And they are selling goods. Sale of goods. Okay. Now first one. First option. No PE in India. तो फिर कौन सा सेक्शन एप्लीकेबल है? सेक्शन 165 sorry, A is applicable if gross receipts from India exceeds 2 crores, 2 crore or 200 lakhs. ठीक है. तो फर्स्ट केस में नो पी इन इंडिया, सेल ऑफ गुड्स टू resident. How much it is? 145 lakhs. Receipt from sale of the goods. Receipt from sale of the goods to non-resident using IPA, Internet Protocol Address located in India. तो इंडिया के थ्रू कितना उसने बुक किया है? Total we have sold one non-resident to another is 99 lakhs. But out of that India से कितना है? 60 lakhs. So what is the total receipts? Total receipts 205 lakhs from India. इंडिया से 205 lakhs है. तो क्या इक्वलाइजेशन लेवी लगेगा? यस. सेक्शन 165 इक्वलाइजेशन लेवी एप्लीकेबल. कैसे कैलकुलेट करोगे? 205 पे 2% you have to pay out of your pocket, dear students. Presentation पे ध्यान दो. Concept easy है. You will get 4 to 5 marks in exam. Can you recollect seeing this same question in exam? और मैम कुछ तो था, क्या तो था, मैंने छोड़ दिया इक्वलाइज. क्यों छोड़ना है? 1.5 hour of my class right now. 1.5 hour of my class and it is done. और ये 2-3 प्रॉब्लम प्रैक्टिस कर लो. ऑब्जेक्टिव्स थोड़ा देख लो. वहां 2 लाख की लिमिट है, यहाँ पे 2 करोड़ की है. सॉरी 1 lakh limit and 2 crore. So equalization levy is applicable. Now second option. Foreign company non-residents have P in India. Mirror Corporation is having PE in India. Then no equalization levy applicable. कोई जरूरत ही नहीं है equalization levy. कुछ एप्लीकेबल नहीं है. क्योंकि अगर पी है तो वो तो रूटीन में ही टैक्स पे करेंगे. थर्ड, अगर इंडिया के आईपी एड्रेस से 45 लाख है, देन थर्ड ऑप्शन, सेल ऑफ गुड्स टू रेसिडेंट 145 lakhs. Sale of goods to non-resident using IPA located in India. इंडिया से कितना, आईपीए से कितना आपने सेल किया है गुड्स? 145 lakhs. मिला के कितना हो गया? 190 lakhs. As gross receipts from India, as gross receipts from India, not crossing 200 lakhs, equalization levy is not applicable. See, dear students, any student in the class sitting idle right now and scribbling in the textbook, it is very easy. But if you want to score, and I know the concept समझ में आ गया तो बस है ना मैम, सही बात है आपकी. But then why I'm taking efforts, this first point, this second point, this third point, presentation in the exams, if you want to get 4 out of 4, 5 out of 5 marks. हाँ, थोड़ा डांट खा लो, बोल दो honestly, who is writing in the textbook? I'm not able to see your textbooks. Seriously, if it is my inter-class face-to-face, I go, I check the notebooks till the end of the class. And it works. But for you all, okay, chalo, no problem. You all are quite mature. Check for yourself. If you feel नहीं ma'am, आपके साथ practice हो जाएगा लिखने का, तो write it, finish it. These kind of topics you need not revise. Second time before the exam, if you want to revise, you revise math, you revise GAR, you revise non-resident, you revise transfer pricing. Non-resident as नहीं say, I'll not say कि मेरे साथ 1.5 घंटा पढ़ लो खत्म हो गया. No. बट ये टॉपिक तो अब कभी नहीं भूलोगे. 2% and 2 crore limit and 6% and 1 lakh limit and like that. Correct or not? Huh? Sampath Limited, an Indian company, in order to expand overseas sales, it has launched a massive advertisement. So we are Indians, we have launched advertisement, and for this purpose we are giving online advertisement service of Minar, an Australia-based company. Now we have paid 15 lakhs. We want government to allow it as advertisement expense. Discuss the tax implications, TDS implications of such payment and the receipt in the hands of Sampath Limited and Minar respectively. दोनों के केस में आपका क्या क्या टैक्स आएगा? If Minar Inc. has no P in India, we are giving advertisement like to Google, Facebook, Insta, and they are not having any P in India. But are they earning through India? Yes. So if they are not having P in India, and if they are paying, we are paying them 15 lakhs. 15 lakhs का 6% काट के गवर्नमेंट को दो. Equalization levy बिल्कुल applicable होगा. 165A या 165, this time it is 165. Minar has a P in India. And services effectively connected to the P in India. वी आर पेइंग टू मीनार और मीनार का पी है इंडिया में, तो फिर हम क्या करेंगे, हम बट दे आर नॉन रेसिडेंट्स हैविंग पी इन इंडिया, सो वी विल डिडक्ट द टीडीएस अंडर 195. नॉन रेसिडेंट का टीडीएस काटते हैं ना वैसे. चलो लेट अस राइट दिस आल्सो इन नोटबुक, इट विल जस्ट टेक 2 minutes. थोड़ा फास्ट ही लिखेंगे और फिर हम लोग थोड़ा थ्योरी कर लेंगे और जो इसमें. If Minar Incorporation has no PE in India and whatever we are paying them from advertisement exceeded 1 lakh rupees and payment for online advertisement exceeded rupees 1 lakh. Section Section 165 is applicable. बिल्कुल लगेगा 165. और कितना लगेगा? Equalization levy is equal to 15 lakhs into 6%. कितना आ रहा है? 90,000. काट के we will pay them. Deducted and paid to government by 7th of next month. ₹14,10,000 TDS काटने के बाद 82 ठीक है. So this was the first one. Second one, if Minar Incorporation has a P in India, तो फिर PE को इनकम हो रही है and it is already paying the tax, no? Equalization levy not applicable. But on rupees 15 lakhs paid, TDS is deducted. TDS is deducted under section. TDS is deducted under section 195 because वो non-resident है. मीनार को इनकॉर्पोरेशन नॉन रेसिडेंट है बट उनका पीई है, तो फिर इक्वलाइजेशन लेवी एप्लीकेबल नहीं है. बट व्हेन वी पे 15 lakhs we will deduct 195. All right, very quickly let us read out the remaining part now. Tonnage tax is also there, but कल अब हम पहले non, first I thought of doing tonnage tax, it's also a one class topic, but अब वो बाद में करेंगे, पहले हम non resident से शुरू करेंगे कल. Yeah, are you clear with these pages? Check in the book. What are the issues faced? Terms defined. 165 में equalization levy 6% is charged. When non-resident is receiving the service from resident or from another non-resident having P in India, online advertisement space and all. Or this is for sale of goods for rendering of services and all. When these two are not applicable, that we did. So while we make the payment, that payment will be allowed only if you deduct equalization levy. and after deducting whatever the recipient non-resident is receiving from India, 470 it is exempt. Have you written this example? नहीं तो 1050 लैंग्वेज में समझ में नहीं आएगा घर में. चलो. Person responsible for deducting equalization levy. Every person being resident and carrying on business or a non-resident having P in India shall deduct equalization levy, which form the amount payable to non-resident, and it is deducted at 6%. Threshold limit is 1 lakh. 1 lakh तक पे किए तो नहीं काटना है, उसके ऊपर पे किए तो पूरे अमाउंट पे 6%. Time limit of remittance is 7th of the next month. Consequence of failure to deduct. नहीं काटा, and if you are failing to deduct, then whenever you pay it will be allowed. 30 और 166A का जो है उसमें तो क्वार्टरली है. 30 जून है तो 7 जुलाई, सितंबर है तो अक्टूबर, दिसंबर का 7 मार्च, बट मार्च का मार्च ही है. मार्च का इट इज मार्च. ओके. नाउ for this equalization levy, take a pause and listen to me. I don't know if you all have heard about section 220. What is section 220? Like we submit annual return throughout the year, which people, how much TDS is deducted on what nature. I may deduct TDS for you on salary, for you on rent, for you on some other. So TDS, TCS के भी annual returns जाते हैं in the form of statement. Throughout the year, how much equalization levy I have deducted and paid. For that, I have to submit one statement in the form of return by 30th of June 2023 for financial year 22-23. Clear? मैं आपको language एकदम easy बना दे रही हूँ उसको, so that it will be clear. Yeah. Check. Every SSC or e-commerce operator within 30th June following financial year prepare and deliver to the AO a statement in form 1 verified and all in respect of e-commerce supply or service. An SSC who has not furnished the statement within aforesaid time, having furnished that statement, notices any omission or wrong, may furnish a revised statement at any time before the expiry of 2 years from end of financial year in which services or supply or service was provided. So what is your financial year 22-23? So 2025 तक अगर कोई गलती हुई है स्टेटमेंट में, you can rectify. Where any SSC fails to furnish the statement within 30th of June, the AO may serve a notice to furnish it in the proper form within 30 days. Are you clear? Financial year 22-23 के लिए 30th June 2023 तक सबमिट कर लो, खत्म करो. ठीक है? Right. Okay. Now processing of statement. Processing of statement के सामने लिखो return processing. Statement को ही आप क्या बोल रहे हो? Return. तो आप रिटर्न प्रोसेसिंग होगा तो आपको डिपार्टमेंट से क्या मिलता है? इंटीमेशन. यू विल रिमेंबर 143 1 and all. When you have furnished a statement in 167, then equalization levy shall be computed after making adjustment for any arithmetical error, interest if any, and some payable or refund due shall be determined, and intimation shall be given. आपने रिटर्न फाइल किया तो they will give intimation or acknowledgement. Time limit for getting is, it shall be sent after the expiry of, no intimation shall be sent after expiry of 1 year from end of financial year in which that statement is furnished. Last, whenever you have filed the return 1 year from the end of that financial year, आपका return process हो जाएगा. So what is 167? File annual return for equalization levy. 168, get the return of that. 169, rectifying of the mistake. With a view to rectify any mistake apparent from record, AO may amend an intimation within 1 year. That is already told. AO may make an amendment to intimate either CO motto, like we do rectification 154 versus 254. याद है या नहीं सबको? This Sunday you all are writing exam for appeals revisions, ITET, High Court, repetitive appeals, bar, all those topics. तो ये देखो 154 में within 4 years of passing the order you can rectify the order. ITET can rectify its own order within 1 year. Same way, if department feels that in their 168 statement if there is a mistake, they can also rectify. CO motto or SSC can say, or the e-commerce operator can also say. An amendment of intimation which has effect of increasing liability and all, the AO will give the SSC chance to be heard and all. वो सब ठीक है. Whenever you make payment late, 1% interest will start from the 8th. By 7th of next month you have to pay equalization levy, नहीं तो interest शुरू हो जाएगा. इसमें से question आते हैं MCQs और objective and you'll have to learn it. You'll have to learn it. Fails to deduct the equalization levy. Okay, equalization levy काटना ही भूल गए तो penalty. You all know penalties over the above tax. Interest तो लगेगा 1%. उसके ऊपर penalty लगती है monetary punishment equal to equalization levy. Failure to pay equalization levy under 165A. तो भी जितना equalization levy है उतना आपको penalty लगेगा. Fail to pay the levy after deduction to the credit of central government. काट तो दिया आपने इक्वलाइजेशन, गवर्नमेंट को जमा नहीं किया तो बड़ा क्राइम है ये तो. 1000 per day during which failure continues subject to maximum of fail to pay. Failure to furnish the statement, then 100 per day. Are you all getting? Simple. 165 and 165 equalization कटना भूल गए तो whatever is the amount exactly equal to your equalization amount. Failure to pay the levy after deduction to the credit, काट के जमा करना भूल गए तो 1000 per day till maximum of the amount which you have paid. मतलब equalization levy का कितना amount है उतना. Statement furnish करना भूल गए तो 100 per day. No penalty shall be imposable if the SSC proves to satisfaction of you that there was a reasonable cause for the failure and all. ठीक है, तो failure they can go off. Okay. Now see, if e-commerce operator is aggrieved with order of imposing penalty and all, can he go to commissioner appeals? Yes. Similarly, appeals can be filed with ITET against the order of the commissioner appeals. Yes. Allowed ingoing. Punishment for false statement. कम पे किए नहीं पे किए तब तक तो ठीक है. Cheating. If you make wrong figures, wrong payment, then there is imprisonment. Imprisonment के लिए और एक नाम यहाँ पे लिख के जाओ, prosecution. What is penalty? Punishing in monetary terms. What is prosecution? Imprisonment. If a person make false statement which is false and which he either knows or believes or does not believe, shall be punishable with imprisonment for a term which may extend to 3 years. तो 3 साल आपको जेल में और बाकी सब provisions applicable है. Point of difference now you can read at home. From here this is all extra. Chapter is over. Read for repetition. अच्छे concept है तो मैंने delete नहीं किया. 165 is equalization levy for collecting equalization levy on amount paid to non-resident and all. 165 अलग है. 194 O TDS भी लगता है. Okay. 194 O इनको नहीं लगेगा. Where you have sold the goods through e-commerce participant and e-commerce operator. Okay. Such e-commerce operator is liable to deduct 1% of the gross amount of sales at the time of credit of the amount of such sale or both to the account of e-commerce participant. Who is e-commerce operator? Amazon. Who is e-commerce participant B? Concept classes, if we are selling our books. So who are the supplier of goods and service? They are e-commerce participant. No tax is required to be deducted in case some credited or paid to participant being individual and HUF, where gross amount of sales or both by such individual does not exceed 5 lakh. And such e-commerce participant has given his PAN. छोटे छोटे जो सप्लायर्स हैं उनको 194 का टीडीएस नहीं लगता, बाकियों का टीडीएस डिडक्ट होगा 1%. बट इक्वलाइजेशन लेवी और इसका comparative I have given. If you like, you read it. If you don't like it, skip it. That's what I can say. 2 minutes as I close the class. And please keep your doubts ready. Put it in chat box. E-commerce बिल्कुल मैं पढ़ाऊंगी आपको 194O. See, इक्वलाइजेशन लेवी को एप्लीकेबल नहीं है, बट 194O यहाँ क्यों दिया है? कंपैरिजन के लिए दिया है. तो ये टीडीएस से रिलेटेड है एंड दिस इज एप्लीकेबल विथ इफेक्ट फ्रॉम 1 अक्टूबर 2020. इसमें ना 3 पार्टीज हैं. सेलर ऑफ गुड्स और द सर्विस प्रोवाइडर. सेलर ऑफ द गुड्स और द सर्विस प्रोवाइडर. आप लोग लिखो, दिस विल बी वेरी हेल्पफुल. आर यू ऑल राइटिंग? Who is the seller of the goods or the service provider? Again, this started giving trouble. E-commerce participant who is selling the goods or services. Through whom? E-commerce operator. E-commerce operator is selling the goods to customer. Okay. Customer pays to e-commerce operator. Customer किसको देते हैं? E-commerce operator को. Say 1 lakh rupees. E-commerce operator किसको पे करेंगे? Pays to e-commerce participant. अपना कमीशन और निकालने के बाद वो लोग पे कर देते हैं. बट टीडीएस कौन काटेगा? E-commerce operator. Say 1 lakh rupees. TDS under section 194O 1%. 1000 99,000 पे होगा इनको. 99,000 पे होगा. क्लियर है आप सबको? बहुत हेल्पफुल होगा. बट ये सब रेसिडेंट है. ई-कॉमर्स ऑपरेटर रेसिडेंट. Giving service to customer, Amazon. Customer giving money to Amazon. Amazon is selling concept classes books. So while paying to us, they will deduct TDS under 194O. But इसमें e-commerce operator is resident. 165 and 165 में जो service providers हैं वो कौन है? Non-resident. 194O not applicable to individual and HUF if gross receipts is less than 5 lakh. 5 lakh का limit है. छोटे छोटे suppliers, individuals in HUFs whose gross receipt is less than 5 lakh as supplier and PAN card details given to e-commerce operator. PAN card details given to e-commerce operator. Finished writing or you need any help or ask? This time e-commerce operator is resident. He is giving service to customer. Customer is paying to e-commerce operator और goods और service कहाँ से जा रहे हैं? E-commerce participant. तो e-commerce operator अपना commission रख के when he pays commission नहीं on the gross amount TDS जो भी सेल हुआ है TDS काटेगा under section 194 1%. But other service providers are छोटा service providers, individuals and HUF जिनका gross receipt 5 lakh से कम है and they have given their PAN and other details. PAN and other से कभी भी if the turnover exceeds, they will come to know that they are covered under 194O now. ठीक है? And 195, you all know 195 is a common section. NRI का e-commerce operator non-resident है, equalization levy applicable है, तो फिर 195 में TDS नहीं कटेगा. Otherwise, 195 is a common section for deducting TDS for all kind of income generated to an NR non-resident. So that's all for this topic from my side. You read it, solve those two problems again for the language command. Concept to clear है. And give some feedback. Is this topic easy and scoring or not? Equalization levy. How many of you feel 4 marks more you get? You should have cleared the subject. You might have cleared the group then. So don't leave these topics. These are very simple. आज से आप कभी भी देखोगे तो याद रहेगा. And anytime just you have your notebooks, no, put stick on and keep seeing that comparative. 165 है तो 6% है, यहाँ 2% है, यहाँ 1 lakh की लिमिट है, यहाँ 2 crore की लिमिट है टर्नओवर की. Like that, keep checking. Why here the limit is so high? That is 2 crore. Because in 165A, the e-commerce operator is selling goods, सर्विसेज एंड समटाइम्स तो कॉम्बो. हाँ, काफी ऐसे वेबसाइट्स है ना, जैसे अमेजोन या आई एम नॉट मच इनटू ऑनलाइन, सो माय एग्जांपल में भी ओल्ड वाला, बट ऐसे कुछ होंगे ना वेबसाइट जहाँ प्रोडक्ट भी सेल होते हैं, सर्विसेज भी मिलते हैं. यू कैन बाय बुक्स ऑल्सो, यू कैन टेक ऑनलाइन कोचिंग ऑल्सो इफ यू वांट टू गेट ट्रेन. So like this, that's why that 2 crore limit, and here it is only 1 lakh limit. When we are giving a advertisement to Instagram बैठे बैठे यूएसए में कमा रहा है 1 लाख रुपए से ऊपर, और मैं यहाँ एडवर्टाइजमेंट एक्सपेंस डाल के आई एम रिड्यूसिंग माई टैक्स. तो गवर्नमेंट इज तो लूजिंग फ्रॉम बोथ द साइड्स. आई एम टेकिंग एज एक्सपेंस and Insta is not showing as income. Then again, this is applicable. Okay, right. That's all for today. Immediately after the class, the lectures are uploaded in app. Twice you can check it. Okay, 1.5 I say, but that is 1.5 hour, 1.5 hour, 3 hours. You can check the lecture again by whatever speed you wish to. That's all for today. Thank you so much. Any separate question you have come across equalization levy, bring it. Okay. And model papers I've just seen yesterday. I've sent you a link. Take a print of that. We will surely discuss all those questions also. Thank you so much. Bye-bye all of you. Koi doubt kisi ko? Any one of you? No? Right. Bye-bye.